Yes. A very good afternoon to everybody. Greetings to you. This is Comrade Lante Oriahi of the Comrade Show. And I'm coming our way right this minute. I'm trying to get connection with our volunteers at home for the Streetlights project. They are currently working at Evbuotubu Market Road installing street lights, and I'm just waiting for them to connect with us so we can in our usual way bring the matter live. Just trying to reach them now. We're having issues with connection. Please, if you are joining us as the Comrade Show, share the broadcast so we can get some people to equally join us. It is the street lighting project that was initiated by the Comrade Show, and of course, as enjoying the support of Edo people. The volunteers are at home right now. They are working in Evbuotubu. When they finish from Evbuotubu today, they are going to go to somewhere around the Isiohor area to only fix some lights. I'm just waiting for them to connect to join us live, and of course, we're going to take it from there. In the meantime, the other matter that is on the top burner right now as we speak is the legal issues in court concerning the governor of Edo State, Governor Obaseki. I just want to give us a little brief from what we are gathering right now. What's it called? The document presented by the witness to Obaseki, because the Obaseki team opened their defense today, like we said. They've all been admitted by the judge, which means that these documents, the originals of the certificate of the governor of Edo State, the UI certificate, and of course the New York certificate where he got his master's degree, his primary school certificate and his secondary school certificate, they've been admitted from the reports we are getting. And these are very strong, exhibits that we definitely, put pay to all of the arguments, all of the hula value you've been hearing. Another matter on the top burner that we are going to take time to equally talk about later is the issue of insecurity in Edo State, particularly with respect to court killings, the criminals, convicted criminals, and the ones on trial that escaped from the custody of the police. Unfortunately, those that the system suspects are behind some of these things happening, trying to destabilize the system. They are the ones who are at the forefront of trying to put blame, on the governor of Edo State. Of course, this is one thing I'm going to talk about. In the meantime, please let me try to see if I can get these guys online. I don't know why they are not yet able to join me. The link has been sent to them. So I just put somebody on the call right now to find out what could be delaying this process. But we're going to talk about these issues. We're going to talk about the security matter. We're going to talk about the court case briefly. But in the meantime, I want to see the possibility of getting these guys online. Hello, sir. Can you join me online, please? Can you click on the link and join me? Hello, I can hear you. Can you join me online? Hello.
I can hear you.
Okay, great. Can you join me online now?
Hello? Yeah.
Can you click on the Zoom link and join me online?
I'm trying to join you, but it's loading. It's just taking a lot of time. I'm trying to join you. I'm already online trying to join you. I'm trying to connect now.
Okay, can you please talk to Mr. Alfred? Can you talk to Mr. Alfred to equally join me online, please, if you can?
He's trying to join you too. Network seems to be bad here. Network seems to be bad. He's also trying to I'm trying to join you. Mr. Alfred is trying to join you, but network is trying kind of weak here. So joining is quite difficult now.
Okay, but what?
Trying to join you.
But while I'm already online. I'm waiting, and I have a lot of people online as well waiting. But meanwhile, can you bring us up to date with speed? Where are you guys working right now?
We are at the Evbuotubu Market Road now. We are installing a street light. We started the installation process already of the street lights.
Okay, please do well to see. I don't know if you can equally send your link to the engineer to try with his phone or something. I don't know, but I need to have you guys live online, please. Okay, even if it's just for a few minutes, please.
We'll try.
Okay, please. I'm online already, just to let you know. Yes. So actually, that's one of the volunteers on ground. Thompson Ayere, who's on ground right there at Evbuotubu. So they are working right now installing street lights, and but just before they are successful. Of course, I know that we're having network challenges right now. I want to quickly, first of all, talk about the issue that has to do with those state insecurity. First, a lot of people have been talking, oh, Governor Obaseki has not come out to say this, has not come out to say that. Oh, Governor Obaseki has not done this, has not done that. Look, and I've heard a lot of things. Some people have called me severally and all of that. The response I gave to the last person who called me very early this morning was when he was expressing a lot of Obaseki, this Obaseki, and I told him, I said, this is exactly what those who are conspiring to run down the state, is exactly the position they want to put us. And some of us are refusing to be in that position. There is no way any right-thinking person right now can discredit Obaseki over the spirit of insecurity at the moment. And one thing I've told people is this: it's not because I support the governor of Edo State. Anybody who's sitting there right now with the challenges right now facing Edo State, orchestrated, not just by the people we see carrying out the act, but by those who are conspiring with elements of wickedness to destabilize the state. Now, we cannot imagine, we cannot fathom this, that, the state CID in Edo State, one of the most secure police units that we have, okay, that some people, criminals, so to speak, armed robbers, some have been convicted, some are, under serious investigation. We've never really heard that. It's not like there was a jailbreak, okay? They opened the door and walked out of that secure facility, okay? Policemen were in charge. They were guarding. I'm not sure that anybody was expecting Governor Godwin Obaseki to go to the state CID and begin to be the man who's going to be on guard at the state CID. Now, the people you see making all of the noise are still those who are the lieutenants of, Oshomoles, Izeyamu, and all that. And it begs the question. It really, really begs the question. Okay, is this rational? Okay, is this really rational? The argument they are making, is it rational? Of course, it's not rational. Okay, and of some people who are on the side of the Obaseki, they are beginning to question their own stand. And I want to give you reasons why you have taken positively to stand with Obaseki. It is too premature, in the face of these chemicals of things happening right now, for anybody to begin to, blame Obaseki. Somebody called me from the US and Obaseki needed to have addressed this. The governor cannot just jump into addressing the public. A lot of this need to come in place. Some people have escaped from a secured unit of the CID. The issue is, how did they escape? There was no jailbreak and all of that. Investigations need to be open. People need to take blame for this matter. People need to be called to question for this matter. Now, the governor needs to have a holistic picture of what is happening here. He cannot just come out and say, some people don't escape for. As a matter of fact, what was flying on the internet was that about 100 people have escaped. But the police came out to say that 10 people escaped. Even if it were one, okay, it is still too much. Too much. Now, the issue is this. Some of us have accused the police directly of conspiring against elements of retrogression in Edo State to run down Edo State. Now, even as we speak, they have said they've caught about 2 of them, as it were, and there's serious manhunt for other 8. And some policemen who were on duty at on that very day, okay, some policemen on duty, okay, they've been, put in custody, for further investigation as to how lousy, how this level of laxity on the part of police, could have taken place in a secure unit as that department is, as it were. Now, what equally begs the question is, when we have, things that are similar or near similar in some other parts of the world, one of the first things you hear, one of the first things you see, one of the first actions you see from the police is that they display the pictures of the people that they are looking for. They release information concerning these people so that everybody can join, in the manhunt, as it were. Now, we don't know why the Nigerian police Edo division would not release the photographs of these people that have escaped. Because before these people were already in that custody, they had been profiled. Information about the crime against them is documented. They each have their own files. They have their pictures in those files. Are they saying that these guys escaped, taking their files along with them? Because right now, what Edo State needs to be seeing is pictures of these guys everywhere, all over town. Everywhere. So that if anybody is walking around the streets of Benin, Ekpoma, Auchi, anywhere, and they see any of these faces, they can easily identify them and draw the attention of the police. Now, we had 1,993 suspects escape Oko prisons and escape Sapler Road prison. Till date, nobody, police has not released any information concerning any of these people that escaped. So you see that there is a deliberate conspiracy, as we can allege from here. We don't know who and who in the police force is conspiring against these elements of wickedness, because it is standard practice by the police everywhere, all over the world. When there are people, where there's a manhunt for anybody, criminal, terrorist, or whatever, one of the first things they do is to display their pictures, is to display the crime against them, is to display certain information that will help the public. Because the people that have escaped from this police unit, these people have become a menace to society. They have become threat to everybody, wherever they are. So therefore, it should be our collective responsibility to ensure that, these people, they are arrested and brought back. And the police tell us that they are doing their investigation. They are doing their investigation. What investigation are you doing if you are not working with the general public? Now, the issue of how they escape is already on one part. That matter needs to be investigated thoroughly. So I think everything that you are seeing that is happening at Edo people is a deliberate attempt to rubbish, the Edo State governor. It's a deliberate attempt for people to cast aspersions. Now, they know what they are doing. It's all calculated. They are calculated. They are collected. You understand what I'm saying now? So for those who are saying, governor for come out, governor doesn't really have to come out, because governor is dealing with a lot of issues right now concerning this matter of insecurity in Edo State. The man is having sleepless nights. And the people who have taken, who are trying to pass through the back door to come and govern Edo State, they are the ones that we can. It is a very clear case. A very clear case. Today, we are talking about what is it called? We are talking about what's it called? court activities everywhere all over the state. Now the question is this. The real question is this. The other day I saw a video, at what's it called, just before Ekiadolo. These court boys, I played that video in my last broadcast. They were, in fact, it was a brazen move. They brandished their weapons like it was no man's business. You understand what I'm saying now? A lot went into that matter. Now the question that some of us would readily ask was, how did these people get these weapons? If, some level of conspiracy against Edo State is not taking place right now. Now, there's a very high level conspiracy taking place. If many of us do not see it, some of us do. And we must speak to it. We must talk about it. So I think very, 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 very squarely that it is highly premature. It will be very ill-conceived for anybody right now to cast aspersions on the governor of Edo State. Now, I'll tell you why. Okay, I'll break that down to you. I will not call the governor of Edo State to come and explain anything right now, but I will expect the governor of Edo State to address Edo people armed with all the information necessary. All information necessary regarding all of these issues. And if there are people to be held culpable, they should be held accountable as quickly as can be. You understand what I'm saying now? But in the immediate, okay, I think, the other day I said that the police, they need to come on and explain. And they're already explaining. Right from those representing the AIG, those representing the IG, representing this, they're already explaining from every side of their mouth. Okay, let them do the explanation. Because they are explaining to the public, I expect that they are explaining to the state government. Who would be the state government? Who would be very, 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 very disappointed at this cheap level of conspiracy? Because you cannot tell. Even if somebody opened the door of the cell of the state CID, okay, the person will just walk out free of charge. He don't wear police uniform. This is a place where from office to office, you understand, policemen are about everywhere. So that the entire department needs to be held accountable. Seriously. They need to be held accountable. And Edo people must not be fooled. All those people writing on Facebook, Obaseki don't do this. Will Obaseki go and be the one on guard in the state, at the level of the state CID? Let us be reasonable. Now, I want to bring that to another matter to the very basics so that we understand a bit the point we are talking about. I must say this, and I will say it without fear of intimidation. I am a strong supporter of Obaseki, and I know many of you are listening to me as strong supporter of Obaseki, but probably the difference between me and many of us is that I am an objective supporter of Obaseki. Objective because as far as I am concerned, by the grace of God, I believe very strongly that Governor Obaseki is taking the right steps so far. Okay, and he's speaking my language as far as Edo State is concerned. And my language is for Edo to move forward. And so long as he keeps speaking that language, he enjoys my support. But when that language changes, then we will have to call him to order. And this is the truth. That Obaseki is not enjoying any blanket, support, any what's it called, a blank check support from many of us. Okay, the support Obaseki is getting from us is a support that we equally have for Edo State, as it were. That's one. The second aspect is this: Obaseki in his first term, okay, was the governor or was not the governor? Major part of the first term. I think I have somebody inside right now. Please, sir, can you unmute yourself if you can hear me? Yes. You can unmute yourself now so we can hear you.
Yes, I have.
I greet
Can you hear me now?
Apostle, I can hear you. God bless you. How are you? I'm
fine. Good afternoon.
Yes, so God bless you, sir. You are on ground.
Yeah.
That is Apostle. Sir. He has gone to observe what is happening at. Where are you, sir? Can you tell us and bring us up to date with speed? They are installing the.
Yeah, we are done now.
Go ahead, sir.
They have started installing it.
So Apostle, where are you now, and what can you observe?
Hello, you said what?
I said, where are you now? What is your observation of what is happening right now?
Yes, we're already at Evbuotubu now, and they've started installing one of the lights on the street light on the pole here now.
Okay. So how can you assess the job so far?
Yes, it's okay. I mean, the job is okay, and they are doing a nice job. They are doing a nice job.
Thank you very much. So the community right there, I mean, do you sense that the people are happy?
Yes, of course. They are.
Okay. So, but from your own assessment, as one who is a front person when it has to do with adult development, or I mean, from what's your own assessment of this Streetlights project that we are taking around Edo State?
Yes, it's a welcome development. It's a thing that everybody need to join hands together to see how we can actually light up Edo State. And a tree is not, Rome is not built in a day, and a single tree cannot make a forest. Though we're bona or bona yanwan. But what we thought is on ground is a welcome development. It's just to keep encouraging our brothers and sisters to be part of this project to see how we can really light up our city, because government cannot actually do everything. It's just for them to create an enabling environment for us to do the right thing. And this also now can also help to put, we want to talk about security check. This area will no longer be dark, and people can pass through the place without fear of people at night. So it's a welcome development. I just wish and I pray that God will help every one of us to key into this laudable project. So that's where we are right now.
Thank you very much, sir. So we are at Evbuotubu right now, Market Street, you call it, right? So please, can I talk to what's it, Tom, if he's there?
Which Tom?
Can you see him?
No, you can see you.
Okay.
See you.
Yeah, how are you, sir? And
I'm fine. I'm doing well.
Is a volunteer of the Comrade show, one of those helping to facilitate this project on ground. So tell me, how is it going? What are the people feeling? How are they feeling right now? The neighborhood.
They are feeling great. The persons in the community are feeling great. I've talked to one or two persons and they are happy about it because it's quite dark at night. Things happen at night. Boys attacking young people at night. So by the coming of this street light, now you see that things will get better at night. Some persons can do their business at night, that can do business like this and the others. And the area will be light and it will avoid boys, hoodlums attacking people at night. So they are really, really happy and grateful for the light that just came.
Okay, I understand that around that area, that economic activities take place around there, and sometime before 6 o'clock, they already closed.
Yes, it's a very, very busy road. 24 hours, the road is always busy. So the kind of street light will help to boost economic activities at night in this place, because one of the men I interviewed told me that when it is 7, everybody pack into their houses because of the fear of hoodlums. But now, since this light is coming, it will help some persons that can do business at night to stay for a longer time to do their business.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right. It's okay. But for now, the project is on. Oh, okay. That's Apostle.
Yeah.
Apostle, greetings to you. Thank you very much for the time you've taken out to just help observe on some of these projects going on. Thank you so very much. God bless you, my brother.
Yeah.
So, Apostle, from your assessment of this neighborhood, we only have just few lights here, and I'm going to be appealing to adult people. You know, people can, if they want to support this Evbuotubu area, this Market Square area, Market Road area, you know, we are going to be appealing that people should equally support that we can go and install more lights here. From what I understand, we have just about 5 lights that we are installing in this area. You know, these 5 lights, you know, they were donated by an anonymous donor, somebody who doesn't want his name to be mentioned. And Of course, we respect that, you know, but we appreciate him hugely. And so if Edo people, you know, across the world equally want to support to help us, increase what we are going to be having in this area, we appreciate it. You know, Apostle, what would you say to that? Because I'm actually appealing for those who may want to support us so that we can add more lights to this neighborhood. I see it's a long stretch and it's a busy neighborhood, you know.
Yes. Yes, it's a busy neighborhood, and if we'll be thinking about at least, let's just see how we can contribute like people over there, at least the editing this environment. Let them also see how they can be part of this project without necessarily leaving it to the hands of our people in diaspora.
Yes.
But I know that people living in this area, they should also be part of this project to see how we can actually light up a road, because if we can be able to have the whole of this street, it will be the whole of, because light is wealth.
Yes.
And in a place where you have light, you have development. So that's it.
Thank you so much, my brother. God bless me. I appreciate your time, my brother. So, Apostle, thank you.
Sir.
I appreciate you because you are just one who has come to observe the project and the way it's going. And you were there when we are to Melu. I really want to say thank you so much for your support and for all that you've been doing to canvas for the project as well. May God bless you so much for what you are doing for Edo State. Thank you so very much.
Amen, sir. Thank you, sir. One love.
God bless. One love, bro. I'll talk to you later then. So, Edo people, this is the Comrade show, and of course, I was just talking to Apostle Uyinusa. Of course, he's supporting the Comrade show to observe, the Latin project that we are embarking on, and of course, right now the guys are at my leaves. They are at Evbuotubu, okay, and Evbuotubu Market Road. That's where they are installing right now. We have 5 lights for that area. These 5 lights were donated by an anonymous donor. As a matter of fact, I think there were 8 lights. 8 lights. Yes, 8 lights donated by anonymous donor that we are going to be installing there. When they finish from there now, we have some. There's somewhere around Isiohor area. We're actually going to be installing some lights around the Isiohor area. I hope that when they get to Isiohor, we're able to bring that, bring that live as well, because my major, objective here is to see how we can make this whole matter as plain as possible. Hopefully, God willing, we are projecting that we can go to somewhere around Saple Road tomorrow to install, up to 26 lights, around one street off Saple Road. I want to appreciate, I must appreciate the people who have donated these lights, and I want to thank God that may God replenish your pocket. And I want to say that this program is not just for those in the diaspora, and I'm glad too to say that some of those who live in Nigeria, they already key into this project. Okay, and I want to thank everybody who's been part of this project, the light angels, because when you donate a light, this is how it works. The light is 45,000 naira. For those who may want to know the price, who are just joining me for the first time, and the whole idea is that when you donate a light, you become a light angel. We have special package for our light angels that we are equally putting together, that we are going to unveil, in the near future. So the whole idea, what we are doing is that we identify different areas, spots, hot spots, hot spots to criminality, to bad things, that are reportedly dark at night. And so we crave everybody's indulgence. We canvass for support. When we get the support, what we do, for everybody who donates a light to us, there's an inscription on that light. The name of the person is written as donated by XYZ attached to the light. So which means that I can confidently tell you, if you are donating a light to us, tell you that this is where your light is, or that is where your light will be. You can go and verify, okay, and all that. So when the team goes out, they identify these hotspots, they equally determine the number of lights, to be placed in those spots. Okay, it could be 10, it could be 20, it could be 15, it could be 5, it depends, and all of that, you know. And so eventually we install those lights there and all that. If there's a need for us to convert from one light, like this Evbuotubu right now, we believe very strongly that the 8 lights they've taken there will not be enough to light up a large expanse. You know, of course, if we're able to get more donation towards Evbuotubu, that would be very nice. You understand? We will be able to do justice to that and go back there and try to see, you know, do a longer stretch. And also, that's how this whole thing works. And if you are there, you are watching, you want to support, just visit the comradeshow.com. You can pay online, or if you want us to give you an account number, of course, just leave a message right now as you are watching. And of course, we're going to go through our messages and, of course, inbox you, you know, the account details and all that. So as soon as we get, anybody's this thing, we will just update our records and, of course, program them for this thing. Just 1 second. Hello, sir. Sir, I'm on live. I'm on live broadcast now. Can I call you back shortly, sir, please, when I finish from my live broadcast? Thank you very much, sir. So like I was saying, so that's actually what the program is like. So for everybody who may want to take part in the program, please, you are welcome. The project is light up Edo State together. It's sort of our project, you know, and all that. So that's what we are doing right now. So we're going to take it further from there by the grace of God, and we hope as we get more support. Of course, I already want to say a big thank you to all those that have been supporting. Now, zeroing down to the issue of Edo State, I was actually talking about much earlier. You know, I like to state that for the reasons I earlier advanced, okay, this governor in the first term, I can tell you that he was governor, but he was not governor. Okay, he was not governor. He was governor because we all know his antecedent, the history of how he became governor. But when this man became governor, you know, majority of his appointees were given to him, appointed on his behalf, and all of that. So we saw when the struggle and the squabbles began between him and his ex-godfather. Okay, and all that led to the process where Edos joined him, you know, when he was, rudely booted out of his political party. And the Edos did not take kindly to that and all of that. And he was re-elected. Now, under the people's mandate, okay, helping to fight off godfatherism, okay. And while the Edos, you know, had been, you know, rejoicing over this victory over godfatherism, now these same people that were defeated are the ones now going to court to try to use the back door to govern Edo State. Okay, but all that is what it is at the moment. Now, the governor in question, okay, I would say that it is now we are going to know the capacity, okay, he has to govern Edo State. He's been elected. He's had his inauguration. Now he has said that he's going to name his cabinet next month in February. So which means that a lot of what you are saying right now, the government is not fully running. And many of us understand the reason why he has said he's going to name his cabinet in February. And for those of you who may be puzzling, okay, it's very easy to understand. Since, you know, the inauguration, you could see the level of pressure justly by political actors to bring people for nomination, for appointment, for this and for that. And this governor knew that if he approaches this matter the way it was, there was no way he wasn't going to make a mistake. So he gave some time. So I'm going to name my cabinet in February. As we speak right now, the tension that was in November, towards the end of November, early December, that tension has died down. As a matter of fact, nobody really knows right now who is going to be who in the next cabinet of this governor. And I thought that was a very smart move to allow this tension to fizzle out, to allow him to see and know who would actually, you know, fit into the mega agenda. And in the meantime, the man is strengthening the institutions of governance. They are training and retraining staff that needs, you know, to be trained, to be compliant with where the kind of government Edo State want to run. Almost a paperless government. To be compliant with present day reality of how governance should be. So that by the time in February he names his cabinet, okay, the cabinet is good. We expect them to fly like a jet, which means that many of us right now, until this, somebody come here and said, I told the person, I said, look, until June this year, do not blame Obaseki for anything. Give Obaseki the benefit of the doubt. Then, okay, you are naming your cabinet in February, no problem. You understand what I'm saying now? Edo State government right now is running, the way he wants to run it, to stabilize things. So by the time the entire team is in place, we now know who to hold responsible for various things. Right now, if somebody shit for inside farm in agriculture, you want to call Obaseki. Somebody do one thing for security, you want to call Obaseki. Somebody do one thing for that one, you want to call Obaseki. Come on, boys. Come on, women. That is too premature. Let's wait. Let's wait. Then on the issue of insecurity, I tell you the truth. The people who should be held accountable the most are the police right now. Now, the number one person to be held accountable is President Muhammadu Buhari, because the level of insecurity that we experience, okay, in Edo State is not just Edo State. It's all over Nigeria. And now there's a huge clamor to say, we want to practice true federalism. We want to have that national discourse. We want to regionalize our own security unit. Obaseki understand. They call him the chief security officer. He cannot even appoint a commissioner for the state. He doesn't even know who the next commissioner is going to be in Edo State. The one that right now has been promoted to assistant IG, as it were. Now, if he lists now, Obaseki doesn't even know the one who is coming, because the federal government and the constitution of Nigeria made it so that the only people who can control security in Nigeria has to be the federal government. And now the federal government has failed. They've been failing for many years. Security has to be a local matter. Now the government has to be very careful not to be seen to be duplicating what the police is doing, and because as provided by the Constitution. Now the man is at a crossroad. Anybody would be, particularly when those in the opposition who are supposed to be helping the state, but they think they are punishing the governor, but they are punishing everybody in the state. Before the elections, only God knows how many trailer loads of guns and bullets were intercepted coming to Benin. People were giving those guns. Many of them are court members. People were giving those bullets. Many of them are criminals and court members. Don't mistake me for this. There are some court members, okay, who are very innocent of a lot of what is happening right now. There are some who are regretting that they even, deceive themselves to become courtists. Some who don't even want to identify, but there are a galaxy of others. Then the sad part of it is that many of them now are not even in school, in area school, from primary school, streets, bus drivers, conductors, all of them, they took it to everywhere. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, majority of them are actually, with all due respect, hoodlums and riffraffs. Now they have guns. They'll be giving guns, they'll be weaponized because of election. Now, after election, the weapon has stayed with them. And there is something about weapons. I mean, a policeman once told me, an American policeman, he said, when you have a weapon, a gun in your hand, okay, you need to resist the devil, not to use it when you are provoked. Now, these boys now freely use some of these things, okay, under the slightest provocation. Some of them now feel very much empowered because they have the gun. And so what they now do is that they just group themselves together and begin to terrorize everybody. Now, this is where we as a society, we are failing. Some of them are our brothers. Some of them are our friends. Some of them are our children. Why can't you give them up for the good of society? Some of the people who escaped from Oko prison, escaped from Osaplero Correctional Center. Many of us know them. Some of them live in our backyards. They live very close to us. They are mixed up with us. Why can't you give them up? Tomorrow, those of you who know them, you are the ones carrying Obaseki, and yet the people who escape from the prison that you see at night, they greet you, you greet them, they are the ones going out anytime they like to perpetrate crime. Look at the other thing that happened in Sapele Road. How that bus driver was just killed, you know, in the full glare of Ikobi Kevo, in the full glare of the public. Now these things, they are so difficult for us to speak to, as it were, because the brazen, you know, way the gut they have to attack the people is such that they even expose themselves now. They're not even getting the fear. This is where we are talking about collusion. Collusion on the part of police. Collusion on the part of some policemen who don't want the good of Edo State. Collusion on the part of the policemen who colluded to ensure that 10 criminals escape the police CID units. So I think that if we are speaking right now, for those of us who are out there to say we are heaping blame on Obaseki, Obaseki shares no blame in this, my people. As far as we are concerned, Obaseki will not carry a gun himself and be parading the streets. Even when it comes to disciplining the police, Obaseki doesn't even have the power to discipline any policeman. They will have to report to the hierarchy of the police. Somebody is in charge of the police. The police are saddled primarily with the responsibility of protecting lives and property. So what are we having right now? Boa, Obaseki. Hey, Obaseki. Hey, Obaseki. No, my friends. No. Because that is the music the opposition wants us to be singing. And that is the reason why some of us can easily allege that the opposition, they are responsible for some of these things that are happening right now. We cannot, of course, forget the story of lions and tigers. I don't even actually want to talk to dignify them anyway. I don't want to talk about them. But they are there. They are there. The desperation you see them now, try to use a court process because they believe that they own the court. But they are shocked already. They are shocked already. They did it in Imo State, where number 4 became number 1. The person that the people popularly elected was removed. And now they think they can do it in Edo State. The difference is that I said it before in the breaking news. I said the judge has nothing but to judge that Obaseki will be in office till 2024. It is clear. Today, the council of to Obaseki opened their defense. Today, from what we are hearing, the original certificate of the governor, we don't understand the matter, when I listen to all the hula baloo you have been hearing everywhere, noise making everywhere. All these noise were generating from some human beings, mischief makers, the opposition party, okay, definitely orchestrated by Oshomole as the leader of the pack, and of course, Isiohor as the aspirant, okay, taking or even forging a photocopy and present to court to say Obaseki does not have a certificate, he did not graduate. They've been making a lot of noise, this, that, perjury. He lied on that oath, he did this, he did that, he did that, he did that. They are the ones who have been, actually, bringing about, they had 6 witnesses that came in the last, they had about 4 days, You understand what I'm saying? Now to open their own case against Obaseki. 4 days. They brought 6 witnesses. Each of the witnesses they brought, each of them said that the claim they are making is based on the certificate, on the photocopy before them. The photocopy, they said, and was endorsed by INEC, with INEC stamp on it. And each of them, okay, under oath, said that they had never seen Obaseki's certificate. I tried to explain this thing earlier. Now, I'll tell you why Obaseki is going to be vindicated under this matter. Obaseki defense open today. Now, the court has admitted his UI certificate, his New York certificate for his, I think for his master's, his primary school and his secondary school certificate. Okay, they've all been admitted by the court. Now, they have accused Obaseki of not going to UI. I expect today or tomorrow for Obaseki defense to bring UI to come and attest to whether Obaseki actually attended UI or not. Okay? Because this is where the cocoa really is. To come and attest whether Obaseki attended UI or not. By the time UI is able to come and make that declaration that Obaseki is an alumnus of UI, we expect this case to rest in favor of Obaseki. But even at that, even when we expect, like they're already arguing, okay, that the signature of the registrar was not on the photocopy, and the Obaseki team has said the paper that the certificate is a paper that is very big, and at the time they were doing the photocopy, you know, part of it actually did not come out from the photocopy, and so this is the original and all that. Now the question now is, based on the documents submitted by Obaseki that the court has admitted, the question is, did Obaseki qualify to run for governorship? That would be the question. Because the question, the prayer of Isiohor and his team is to say that Obaseki lied under oath, a case of perjury, that Obaseki did not qualify to run for the governorship of Edo State. Now, looking at this document, if you want to follow this document now, you know, from primary school to secondary school and all of that, the man qualifies. Then the second aspect that has to do with perjury. Try to rest your mind, because there's been precedence on this matter. Before you establish a case of perjury, okay, you must first of all bring out the comparative advantage that case of perjury confer on the person, in this case, the defendant, Obaseki. You must now establish what advantage does faking his UI certificate confer on him. Because if Obaseki had submitted just his primary school and secondary school certificate without UI certificate, he still would have been qualified to run for governorship. I'm trying to make you guys understand, you know, how this judgment is going to go eventually. I repeat, if Obaseki had not submitted UI certificate at all, he would have been qualified based on his primary school certificate and his secondary school certificate. He would have been qualified to run for the governorship of Edo State. He would have been eligible to be governor of Edo State with just those two. Which means that even if Obaseki brought the certificate to say from UI 1990, UI 1920, it does not add any advantage to the eligibility of Obaseki to stand for the governorship of Edo State. It doesn't. So, because when you establish a case of perjury, you must equally establish the advantage it confers. Now, what the counsel to APC, to Isiohor, to Oshomole were unable to advance, to establish, was to establish what advantage the issue of perjury they are alleging, okay, confer on Obaseki. What advantage the forgery, as they allege, of UI certificate confer on Obaseki? It confer nothing. No advantage whatsoever. There's this small boy. We just want him at arrest first. Why him money at the court? Iboi, they call him. I remember his name now. Iboi. He is the one of those who was being used by APC to say they are challenging Obaseki in court. And we later found out that Iboi, who contested under one political party, did not even qualify because age, based on his age, he has not reached the age to contest governorship election. So the boy forged his age and increased his age to get to the threshold. Now, if we sue that boy for perjury, that is a clear example of perjury. Because by changing his age from probably 1985, okay, to maybe 1975 or 1980, it means that his age has now jumped from probably 25 years to 32. I'm just stipulating. I don't have the exact figures. You understand? To 32 years to make him not cross the threshold, or say maybe 30 years. So a case of perjury is actually, established, okay, and judged looking at the advantage it confers on the accused, as it were. So in the case of Obaseki, we have looked all around. There is no advantage to his eligibility that the UI certificate confers on him. So the certificate submitted to UR, okay, can actually be an honest mistake. An honest mistake. And the law recognizes too that there can be honest mistake. Particularly when there is no advantage that this thing confers on the accused, on the individual in question. In this case, Governor Gordon Obaseki. So when you look at it, what the court now need to ascertain is to ascertain that yes, Obaseki was a graduate of University of UR. They've equally said, Obaseki did not possess the amount of credit to have, gain admission into UR. To be very honest, in those days, we cannot use what obtains now to judge 1976. In 1976, one of their witnesses, or some of the witnesses brought by Isiohor, did say, acclaim that yes, he is an alumnus of University of Ibadan. Okay, and there were different modes of entry school. Or the man equally said that different departments, different faculties and different departments set their standards. Then he now added that what he knows was that everybody must possess 5 credits. Again, he will not be the judge of that. Now, the court itself do not even have the jurisdiction in this case to determine, okay, what was the requirement in 1976 in the Faculty of Arts for Obaseki to study classics. The court does not have that prerogative to do so. The case brought before the court was that Obaseki's certificate, UI certificate, that they graduate from UI is a forged document. That's the case. And that is what the case needs to now, look into. The issue of to determine whether Obaseki was qualified to go and study classics in UI is just a sheer waste of time, waste of the majesty of the court time, as it were. Because the court is not in a position to determine that. The requirement then was the requirement then. So if that was the requirement and Obaseki fulfilled that requirement at the time, and the UI is able to come out to attest to that the requirement of 3 credits and HSC combined, okay, was the eligibility to study classes at the time, the court does not have any jurisdiction to determine otherwise. So therefore, looking at the merit of advance before you, I tell you, and I repeat again, that Obaseki's position is watertight. Governor Obaseki will be governor of Edo State till 2024. And that is it. That is it. He will be governor till 2024 based on the merit of this case. In any case, we are actually very doubtful of how this case can be actually be concluded, before on the 9th. We are very doubtful because today is already 5th. Okay, Obaseki's council just opened their own case today. I don't know how long they're going to take. They may take 2 days, they may take 3 days. INEC itself is equally a responder to this matter. INEC may equally have a day, to equally, respond to this matter as it were, and all of that. And so that probably reserves judgment for just 1 day. And this matter is supposed to expire on Saturday, okay, which is just, on the 9th, which is just like 4 days away from here. So we are looking at how they want to, magomize the matter. And that is not for us to forget that we have had it on good information, okay, an allegation that we cannot independently verify, but is there anyway, an allegation that certain judges in this matter had actually compromised even before the case began. Collected a good debt from somewhere to rule this matter in favor of Pastor Sagi Isiohor. And that is why they sound so confident, with the photocopy they have, that they've heard the governor of Edo State. And I'm sure today, having tendered the original of the certificate, as we are hearing now, later today, I'm going to equally follow up on the matter to know how far the proceedings went. I am sure that everybody's going to, they are going to develop cold feet because they were not expecting that and all that. So, so my people, this is how this matter has been developing. I just want to talk about it because a lot of things. We're not going to preempt the court. We're not going to preempt the court in whatever way, But what we know very strongly is that Governor Obaseki will be governor of Edo State till 2024. And for everybody who supported Obaseki throughout the campaign, I want to appeal to you that it is too early to win. It is too early to start speaking from different parts of our mouths. Allow this governor to form his cabinet by next month. Allow this government to start running in full jar and give the government 3 to 4 months, 100 days. See what is on ground, whether security or this or that or that or that, before you can begin to say, what is happening here? And believe you me, I will join you if things don't happen the way we want it to happen. I sitting here will join in that music. But I think this man has just been inaugurated. As far as I'm concerned, it is not that the man wants to be a governor of Edo State. Okay, just recently now, they've set up some committee to help raise additional fund for the funding of Benin River project, the Gelegele Seaport and all those things. These are huge initiatives that we blow Edo State around positively. So many things, programs and policies that are already coming out, that by the time the government starts running in Fuja, we know the direction they are facing. So I think that we should give this government the benefit of the doubt to say, the first 4 years, yes, you did well. People are still communizing matter. This government pays salaries as at when due. Go to Rivers. Judges are complaining. How many more salary they never see? In some other states around, even Delta State here, pensioners are still queuing, still dying to get their this thing. But all those things have become a thing of the past in those states. It's not a case of when your soul heals, you no longer remember how the pain felt like. These things were a problem. In the time of Oshomole, pensioners were dying. Some of our brothers and sisters lost their fathers because of a queue to get their pension. Civil servants were all backlog of salaries that this government, when it came on board, started clearing, and made everybody get used to it, saying we pay salary. It was not always like that. Believe me, if we make the mistake, say we go support Isiohor, those times will come back. And yet, the issues we are having right now, they will even increase more. Because what these guys are coming to do is to come and steal our collective patrimony. And that's the truth of the matter. So for every well-meaning Edo indigene, for me, what I think we should do, apart from supporting the governor with whatever we've got, is for us to equally begin to think outside of the box, to think of what we can do. I tell you right now, okay, based on what we have generated from the Comrade show, you know, a lot of you people, Edo people have keyed into that. We are providing street lights right now in parts of Edo State. And if this project becomes massive, I am sure that we can do, you know, the adjoining, you know, links to the major roads in Edo State and let the government in their own plan handle all the major streets in Edo State, providing street lights. They have said that they're going to provide for up to about 40 kilometers, which is a long stretch. If they're able to do the major streets, I'm sure with the other people in Edo State, we can combine with the effort we have on the ground right now, okay, to provide street lights along strategic points in adjoining streets. Adjoining streets. Off this, off that, off this, off that. Identify them. We put relevant number of street lights needed to help curb these matters. At the end of the day, we will collectively fight off insecurity. We will collectively improve our economic activities in Edo State. So the advantages abound. And that's why I was saying, let us think of what we can do. The other day I had a meeting which was more like a security summit, and a lot of ideas came from Edo people to say, if we can advise governments and we can key into certain things like this, some of them are, let us begin to provide gates, barriers to our adjoining roads. Security is expensive. That message is already being passed to the governor of Edo State. We want to have, now they want to start licensing keke napep. I am saying, man, every keke napep person in Edo State can become an informant. We want people to supply the information. We want a situation where we can have 3, 4, 5 persons in every street, in every district, in every area, who are solely under secret employment by the government. The security growth of the government can deal with that. Put them on salaries, but their own is to provide useful information to government on things that are happening in the neighborhood. So we need to start applying all of these strategies. Because here in Irewebu, that is what they do. That is what they do. You'll be living like this. Your next door neighbor will just be police informant. For every information they provide, they get paid. Every useful information they provide, they get paid. So I think that, you know, it's one advice we have for government. And because we know the constraints, security constraints in Edo State, particularly on the part of the governor of Edo State, you know, we know his constraint. We know where his level gets to. The other day, we're happy that, okay, some community policemen were passing out and all of that to equally police our communities and all of that. At the end of the day, these are people who are still loyal to the IG, to the commissioner. They don't directly get the rating from the governor of Edo State. And that is why the governor has been trying to empower vigilantes all across the state. All across the state. But whether vigilante, police, this or that, one of the most powerful tools we have that we need to invest in will be information, intelligence gathering, information. We need to pay for it. We need to look into it. It's more important than the physical policemen that we are seeing. We need to have those people out there at every nooks and crannies. And for the courtesan, I am particularly saying this to the House of Assembly in Edo State. As a matter of fact, I think we are going to walk our way to find a way to get to the Speaker of Edo State and probably bring him on the program to interview him as well. I think Edo State need to pass an enabling law right now. Edo State need to outlaw every court group in Edo State. Every one of them. Every secret court group. Because I understand that some of them, or if not all of them, they are registered. The registration needs to be revoked immediately. They need to be outlawed. And we need to give a time frame. 5 months amnesty program. If you know you have a gun in your possession, amnesty, operation submit your gun and go free. Let everybody go and submit their guns. Then after a chosen date by the lawmakers, let it now be there. It can be maximum penalty. No biomori bayuru. No biomori no bovia ude. Let every parent begin to question their children. Because the basis, the foundation of this decadence we have in Edo State started from the families, started from our mothers and our fathers. And it's very prevalent in this day. We no longer discipline our children. We no longer bother about what they do. We no longer care, provided they bring money. Some of them are doing yahoo, doing ritual killing, doing everything. All of a sudden, a child who has no means of livelihood, no business, all of a sudden, this child is becoming the rave of the town. Driving on the best cars, parading the best women, doing this and doing that, and everybody's clapping. But what this child does, nobody questions it. We must begin to take a look at ourselves as a people. So before you put a finger to Obaseki, ask yourself, have you policed your own streets? Is there nobody in your street that is looking like a suspect that you need to report to the appropriate authority? Is there nobody in your neighborhood that you suspect that you probably, if you are afraid to report to the police directly, that you probably need to just inbox the Comrade show and let's take it from there? They call them Yahoo Plus. They do all sorts of heinous crimes. Police even respect them. They pay huge bribes. But they are part of the core foundation of decadence. Decadence in the society. We need to rewash ourselves from inside out. The real problem that we are looking at right now, we are trying to scratch it on the surface. This problem is deeper, it's more endemic than what we see on the surface right now. And that is where I'm giving kudos to the government of Edo State, because the structure the man is trying to lay for this security matter, they are quite intrusive. They are quite, in depth. We've always been scratching. Oshomo has scratched for 80 years. So they said that he was paying court groups. He was paying them to pacify them. As this one I got the hot now, if you don't send the people come out, okay, this one, okay, now be this. Wanna take 1 million, wanna relax. Wanna take 10 million, wanna relax. Everywhere looked peaceful. But we didn't have peace. Because real peace is not necessarily the absence of violence, as they say, but the presence of justice. Now, we need a more justiciable society. We need a more justiciable Edo State. Edo State where we believe in the dignity of labor. Edo State where we believe that hard work is what is going to pay us better than all of this shiny we are looking at. That is the kind of Edo State that we desire. Now, on the flip side, who do you church? You go to church. You ask yourself, what good are the churches really to the society? Don't make the mistake, don't go there. I am a Christian. As a matter of fact, a born again one. But predominantly, the practice of Christianity in our system is another decadence in our society. Because what a lot of these people who call themselves, majority of them call themselves, what they do is to even encourage these vices. What is important to them is who brings the largest chunk to the church, not what the person does. I used to remember when I was growing up, this one is no fluke, this is no joke. I remember when I was growing up, cooked egg was about 3 kobo, I think. Yes, 3 kobo. Yes, it's leha. Yes. Cooked egg. We had one guy was in our class. This boy would just bring cooked egg. We would just peel it. He would just be eating it. Right there, me, I would be running so that they don't say the boy has stolen and say that I'm part of it. I would be running because I grew up in a household where even if there's the possibility they will buy you Coke, you cherish it, say all of them will come share them. You and all your siblings go share the Coke, small. As a matter of fact, when I will give you the Otogo, the bottle itself, you will cherish it that much. But yet, I will go to school, my primary school those days. Some of these boys will just go and buy About the coke, yoba, about you know. In fact, it was the beginning. It was our own beginning. That was the kind of beginning I had. That was why the father who trained me, may God bless him wherever he is, may his soul rest in perfect peace. My father, this is a story I will share. I've shared it several with my friends. My father sat one day in Aribaye. One woman from the opposite house ran down and said, my eldest brother stole 20 naira, took 20 naira, 20 naira was the high denomination then. Took 20 naira from her son and ran away. Immediately my father said, no, my son cannot do that. Were they fighting and the money got messy? The woman said, no, that my eldest brother snatched the money and ran away. Ajila Nwangwe, may his soul rest in perfect peace, was present. My late uncle, Goodluck Egareba, was present. My father was present. And my father said, no, my son cannot do that. He can't steal. He can't do that. What's he going to do with the money? He can't do it. The woman was saying, no, it's your son, it's your son. You know, it's your son. Then my uncle was telling my father, this woman knows every child in this house, knows all the children in this compound. This woman is saying that your son stole money and you are defending your son. And my father said, no, my son cannot steal. I was there. I was observing. I was just a child. Then all of a sudden, one small boy, another one black boy, ran out from the corner of the house. And immediately, the woman held the boy up and said, this is the boy who stole the money. And the boy was just the son of one tenant in the neighborhood. And my senior brother that the one was accusing was actually inside studying. And as the woman heard the boy, then my father now asked my uncle, said, is this my son? Angela Nwangwe, may his soul rest in perfect peace. Angela requested that my eldest brother was accused be called out. And my father called the boy out. Angela counted 320 naira, 60 naira, and gave it to my eldest brother. And Angela was marveled, was surprised. What? Now, how many of us parents in this day can actually vouch for our children? How many of us? So this is where this whole matter is beginning from. We must be able to know the kind of children we are raising, because society right now in Edo State is getting the way it is because many of us parents who are the biggest noise makers today are personally blamed to others, to Obaseki, to government. We are responsible for the failure of our society. And many of us that attach ourselves to the church, to religious bodies, to the mosque, and begin to escalate the whole environment. Everybody's looking for the cheapest way. We are no longer creative. We are not doing anything. I am thinking right now, when I was growing up, we used to have man, we are missing it. Look at Edo State. This Edo State, we used to play football. We have different competitions, under 13, under 16, school competition, Principal's Cup, Gautier's Cup. At the time we had Tomlin Saviour's Cup, Ogbemudia Cup, Neneni Cup. Where are they all now? Where? The fabric of society that held us together, that made us who we are. Our parents are not anywhere, but we have lost all of them. Now you go to church. The other day, he has prophesied. You know, I'm not trying to cast aspersion at anybody, but the matter is that a lot of this nonsense needs to stop. I saw a video the other day. All of them prophecy 2020 was going to be this, was going to be that, was going to be that. It's all about the money of the worshippers. None of you told us that 2020 was going to be the most devastating year we have ever had since many of us were born. What they swing, eh? Oh, Buhari, Osinbajo, number 2 will become the president. Osinbajo will become the president. We have bigger problems than all that in this country. We have more endemic issues that if you are true to yourself, you need to come down to the cocoa below and let's start dealing with the endemic issues. You have a number of people in your church who are jobless. What are you doing as a pastor? So even if not to create employment for your members alone, what are you doing? Just come out. This is a new year. This one, you said this, you said that, you said that. So we both want professor. The one came out. Terrible. I said, Obaseki will win. Did he win? He win. I said, no, I will win. Did he win? He win. They go and mark it, blow it to high level. Trump is going to win. Did Trump win? No, he didn't win. He didn't win. That is not your business. The business that we have collectively, whether we are pastors, whether we are police, whether we are students, whether we are whoever we are, is to develop our society. I am appealing. Let all of us come together and develop our society. I am appealing. We owe it a duty. Let's not point accusing fingers. Even you in the diaspora, you elsewhere, pointing fingers at the government of Edo State. Check your street, check your house. That your notorious brother, have you given him up? That your cultist brother that you know, have you called him to order? Have you? Let us look at ourselves. Probably if each of us is able to vouch for ourselves to say, I am clean, I am a good citizen of Edo State. Each person is able to do that. Edo State will be at peace. Edo State will be at peace. But how many of us really can do that? Go all across the neighborhoods in Edo State, from Ogbe to Saplero to this to Ugbo to Uwelu to all of these things. Look all around. Look all around. Our young children, 12 years, 13 years, 14 years, they have become the Agberos in the neighborhood. And yet they have parents, they have brothers. Some of them will even go and commit havoc. Their mother will accept it. Because a Raymond Vun, there's a structural problem to this decade until as we are calling for me at here, we are calling Nigeria to come and have a national discourse. We in Edo, we need to have our own state discourse. All of us. Probably that's what I'm just trying to start right now. Because there are so many of us who are very good at pushing the blames to the governor of Edo State. Yes, wherever the governor is culpable, we need to draw his attention. Wherever the governor is going wrong, we need to draw his attention to it. We will not fail to do so as the leader of government. But there are more structural issues we must deal with. As we speak right now, I will give the man kudos because the structure the man is laying in education, okay, is a structure that even Lagos State government, they envy, they have copied that structure right now. The Edo best. Now, these are things that will definitely make our state better. But some of us are saying, look, every child of school age, particularly primary and secondary, has no reason not being in school. So you look around your neighborhood and find that the money in school already are where their parents should be reported. Government should know about this. Okay, and in fact, I am equally understanding this time to the government of Edo State. The government must make it mandatory. Maybe if you like, every child, should be in school, at least primary school. Every child. Here in the UK, UK is under lockdown and we've started full lockdown. My children went to school yesterday. Even though I didn't want them to go to school yesterday, my wife insisted with me, because it can imagine am I in lockdown? Because of this coronavirus, the new variant that is just everywhere. What's yet because if your son is up or your child is supposed to be in school, or school, and you don't have good reasons for that, you are in trouble. A trouble 1 million. We in Edo State, we need to come to that level. I remember back then, the school, when I misbehave, your Agila, in fact, you don't even want to try Agila Onwangwe in Adolo College. I was flogging nonsense in Isiohor. I still remember, the reasons of blessed memory. My father, Imyamia, I cannot forget him. I still remember one of my brothers. He and I reported where Oziba of the school. This teacher flogged him 6 strokes. He and I were portioning on men. They invited my father to the school. My father got to the school. They explained to him what he did. My father was very bitter. My father now asked, how much punishment has he been given? Then the teacher now said, well, I flogged him 6 strokes, and we portion me, no grass, and to go and clear some portion of the school feed. Then my father told the teacher to add another 6 and double the portion. And the principal said, you see, the boy is from a good home. He said, add another 6. But today, a teacher will flog your child 3 strokes. You are taking war to that teacher in school. You are taking war to that teacher in school to embody the child where we have lost all sense of discipline as a people. And I'm saying this because we need to start talking from where the matter has actually begun. And I'm not looking at these Scottish right now. These Scottish, time was when they were 2 months old, when they were 1 year old, when they were 3 years old, when they were 5 years old, when they were 6 years old. What did we do as a society? How did we train them? How did we raise them? Time was when they entered primary school. How were they in primary school? What was our contribution as a society, as neighbors, to raising these children, as parents to raising these children? What was our contribution? I grew up in a house where you will see you family here will talk. You are scared. Now I don't know how to do it. So many families were equally like that. It was a legacy. It was a training. It was a training. It was a training. So my people, I am saying, that what is happening right now is very bad. Okay, I'm going to round off with this. Security issue right now in Edo State is bad, it's porous, but we need to start. There's what's it called? There's a medium-term solution. There's a long-term solution. But as part of the long-term solution, we need to start from the very grassroots. We need to ask whoever you are, as a parent, as a neighbor in the area who wants good things for Edo State, as a religious leader, as a student, as this, we need to have our own state discourse. Our own state discourse to start building Edo for Edo of the future. In the medium term, okay, we need the House of Assembly to come up with enabling laws to outlaw what it needs to outlaw and place serious penalties on these things. And in the immediate term, we want the governor of Edo State, those who can support, will support the process. We want a situation where all security structures are activated. The vigilante idea is a beautiful one. Okay, we want that the government should intensify quick action. The streetlights that the government promised Edo people, we want that job to start in earnest as soon as possible. Okay, what we are doing is to complement whatever effort government is doing as well. We want equally, like government has equally promised. What's it called? Security cameras to be everywhere all around those states. We're equally asking that we need to empower a lot of people, probably train them into the art of information giving. We need to start proper intelligence in Edo State. Let every chronics in Edo State be filled with state intelligence. Ordinary people in the street providing intelligence report to security service, to the government of Edo State. We must orchestrate this. We must manage this. This is the only way. Every other thing that we need to curb insecurity. I must say this, like I was told, and I agree with it. Security is an expensive business. The government of Edo State must be ready to invest in it. And people of Edo State, we are looking inwards as well. If there's the need for us to equally come out with some private initiatives, please, we appeal to you to equally support the initiative. Because to move Edo State forward is a task that all of us must do. For the court case, my people, those who are supporting the government of Edo State, I want to reassure you by the grace of God, Do not despair. Governor Obaseki will be governor till 2024. Do not despair. Do not despair. He has enough evidence to prove himself the governor of Edo State as the eligible, legitimate, and the right governor for Edo State. So your choice is not by mistake, it's God's choice. Thank you very much. On that note, equally, I want to say, for those who want to key into the Streetlight project, I want to appeal to you, please go to thecomradeshow.com. Go to the Comrade courses. When you get to comradeshow.com, from there you read about the Streetlight project, and of course you can pay online if you want to. But if you don't want, leave a message right here on this message box. We'll get it. You want it to have an account and all of that. Come on, we'll deal with it as well. And of course, if you want to light your street, you want to provide 5 lights, 10 lights, 15 lights for your own street, as it were. Good. Reach us. Let's discuss it. And of course, it's something that we can do. Remember, 1 light is for 5,000 naira. Donate a light and be a light angel to Edo State. My people, my name is Comrade Lamte Oriahi, and I've been with you guys for the past how many hours, I don't know. But thank you very much for joining me. And like I always say, may God bless you all. May God bless Edo State and the people of Edo State. May God bless the governor of Edo State, and may God bless Nigeria and Nigerians. Please, on the last note, if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, thecomradeshow.com, please subscribe if you like. Of course, it's not by force. Of course, we're equally on Facebook. We are live on Facebook and on YouTube. Equally follow us on Facebook, so that the reason why I request for this is because a lot of information will be coming out from this table, and I want that as soon as the information is coming out, you get a notification, you get a message, and of course you can equally join or watch it later. So my people, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'll be with you guys again.